On March 14th, open-source satellite trackers detected something running at high speed through the South China Sea.
Not a carrier, not a destroyer. An amphibious assault ship, USS Tripoli LHA-7. The ship most defense analysts had written off as a failed experiment. On her flight deck, up to 20 F-35B Lightning II stealth fighters.
Inner hull, 2,500 Marines. Destination, Hormuz.
Here is why that is strange. We broke 90% of Iran's military equation.
60 warships sit on the bottom of the Gulf. The missile factories that fed Hormuz its teeth are rubble.
2 carrier strike groups hold the perimeter from opposite oceans. Lincoln commands the Arabian Sea. Ford locks down the Red Sea.
The remaining 10% of Iran's capability. Mines seeded across the seabed. Mobile launchers buried inside mountain tunnels.
You do not need to sink a convoy to close a strait. You need to sink one tanker, one burning hull in that corridor.
The strait does not close by force. It closes by fear. And fear only needs one example.
Why is the Pentagon sending a ship most analysts dismissed to solve a problem 2 supercarriers could not? A ship America built, hated, and nearly scrapped. Because the story of why it was called a mistake. When the Navy designed the America-class Flight Zero, they made a decision that drew fire from Congress and Marine Corps generals alike. They removed the well deck. The well deck is the ballast-flooded chamber at the bottom of an amphibious ship. It is how you launch LSAC hovercraft and deploy landing craft.
Designing an amphib without a well deck is like engineering a cargo truck and forgetting the bed. The backlash was fierce enough to force the Navy's hand.
The first 2, America and Tripoli, were written off as failed experiments. But the Navy understood something the critics did not.
The space the well deck used to occupy unlocked a doubled hangar bay, a fully equipped surgical hospital, and massive jet fuel storage.
It gained something no other amphibious ship on Earth possesses: the ability to operate 20 F-35B stealth fighters simultaneously.
Now here is why that mistake is exactly right for Hormuz. We've explained why carriers refuse to enter the Persian Gulf.
That 540 nautical mile bathtub Iran spent 40 years turning into a kill box. 100,000 tons of irreplaceable. Tripoli displaces 44,000 tons. She is not irreplaceable the way Ford or Lincoln are. Tripoli is expendable enough to get close and powerful enough to change the equation. And she brings something no carrier possesses: 2,500 Marines. The 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit out of Okinawa, they just completed exercise Iron Fist 26 with the Japanese Self-Defense Force. Escorting the Tripoli, the Aegis cruiser Robert Smalls, the Arleigh Burke destroyer Rafael Peralta, and 2 San Antonio-class LPDs.
Pulling Tripoli from Japan strips the Indo-Pacific of its only amphibious rapid reaction force. That is not a light decision.
The ship they called a mistake is now running at high speed through the South China Sea toward the narrowest strait on Earth. And it carries something
Nobody knows exactly how CENTCOM will employ Tripoli. The orders are classified, but the capability is not classified.
And Tripoli introduces 3 capabilities that did not exist at Hormuz before she sailed. Each one solves a piece of the 10% problem the carriers left behind.
But Tripoli doesn't have a well deck. It don't need to touch the beach to be lethal.
Capability 1, stealth density. In the narrow confines of Hormuz, 20 F-35Bs provide a radar invisible umbrella.
To Iranian shore batteries, a Super Hornet is a target. An F-35B from the Tripoli is a ghost until the munitions have already left the rail.
Capability 2, the vertical envelopment. The Tripoli can insert a battalion of Marines 500 miles inland without a single boot touching a guarded beach.
While Iran watches the shoreline, the Tripoli's Marines are already 50 miles behind their lines, seizing the very mobile launchers threatening the shipping lanes.
Capability 3, the surgical suite. In a conflict zone like Hormuz, the Tripoli serves as the primary Level 2 medical facility for the entire strike group.
The Tripoli and its sister ship, the America, were the pioneers. They proved that air dominance is often more valuable than a few landing craft.
Carriers can bomb the factories, but they can't hunt the trucks hidden in the Zagros Mountains. You need eyes on the ground for that. You need the Tripoli.
Satellite data shows the Tripoli pushing over 25 knots. That's not a patrol speed, that is a get there before the war starts speed.
Escorting the Tripoli is the Rafael Peralta. It carries 96 vertical launch cells, each capable of intercepting a cruise missile or deleting a shore battery. Behind the Tripoli come the workhorses, the San Antonio-class LPDs. They carry the armored vehicles and the heavy lift helicopters the Marines need once they've landed.
The Pentagon is gambling. They are betting that the risk in Hormuz is greater than the risk of leaving the 7th Fleet without an amphibious ready group for 3 months.
When the Tripoli is in the strait, the cost of ensuring a barrel of oil drops. She isn't just a warship, she's an economic stabilizer.
This is the Lightning carrier concept in action. 20 stealth jets that can see everything on the Iranian coast while remaining.
The Tripoli doesn't fight alone. It's part of a network. The Hawkeye overhead feeds data directly into the F-35B.
The old AV-8B Harrier was a jump jet. The F-35B is a flying supercomputer. It's the difference between a sword and a laser-guided missile.
History is written by the results. The critics called her a mistake in 2014. In 2026, she is the only ship in
The Japanese Navy stepped up to fill the gap. Without their support, the Tripoli would still be sitting at a pier in Sasebo instead of rushing to the Middle East.
Sometimes you don't need to fire a shot. You just need to park a Lightning carrier 12 miles off their coast and wait for them to check the radar.
This is the gauntlet, 21 miles wide. Every sailor on board is at general quarters. Every weapon system is live and searching for a target.
When the Tripoli is on station, the IRGC can't move their fast attack boats. They know that if they launch, they'll be targeted by a jet they can't even see.
The Tripoli's performance has been so dominant that the next generation of LHAs are being redesigned to incorporate its all-aviation layout.
The same generals who fought the Navy in Congress are now the ones requesting more America-class ships.
The Tripoli is a perpetual motion machine. As long as the supply ships keep coming, she can keep 20 jets in the air.
The Tripoli's electronic warfare suite can blind an entire coastal radar sector, creating a corridor of silence for the Marines to move through.
Against a swarm, a destroyer can run out of ammo. An F-35B with precision-guided APKS rockets can pick off 20 boats in 20 minutes and be back for lunch.
In the end, the Tripoli isn't just a ship. It's a message that America can adapt faster than its enemies can prepare.
Keep your eyes on the strait, because the ship they said we shouldn't have built is about to prove why we can't live without it.
Under the waterline, the Tripoli hides a secret. A hybrid electric drive that lets her ghost through sensitive waters.
In a standard amphib, you're cramped. On the Tripoli, you have a factory-grade maintenance facility that doubles the sortie rate of the air wing.
The Tripoli is sovereign U.S. territory. It doesn't need a host nation's permission to launch a strike or park in the Gulf. The Tripoli sees through the eyes of the entire strike group. An incoming threat detected by a destroyer is instantly shared with the F-35Bs on the deck. Every sailor is a firefighter first. In the narrow waters of the Gulf, there is no room for error.
We don't just guess, we watch. The Tripoli's arrival is timed to coincide with windows of maximum vulnerability in the enemy's coastal defense network.
It doesn't need a catapult. The F-35B uses raw thrust and a lift fan to claw its way into the sky with 18,000 pounds of ordnance.
In the hangar, the Ospreys wait. They are the bridge between the sea and the shore, capable of moving 24 Marines at a time to any point on the map. The Tripoli isn't just a participant, she's the brain.
Her command centers are built to coordinate air, land, and sea assets.
The LHDs were the past. The Tripoli is the future. We traded the ability to land tanks on a beach for the ability to dominate the sky above it.
Running the Tripoli at 25 knots is like burning cash by the ton. The Navy doesn't do this for fun. They do it because every hour matters.
To a missile seeker, the Tripoli isn't one big target. She's a ghost in the static, 100 tiny signals that make it impossible to find her heart.
The mission has changed. It's no longer about taking the capital, it's about seizing the nodes, the islands and outposts that control the sea lanes.
It's a 40,000-pound balancing act. The jet's computer makes hundreds of adjustments a second to keep it from flipping over in the sea breeze.
In the strait, the sky is crowded. Tankers, airliners, and enemy drones. The Tripoli's controllers have to navigate a minefield of civilians.
Efficiency is survival. A clean hull means more speed, and in the South China Sea, speed is the only thing that keeps you ahead of the trackers.
We didn't just add more fuel, we added more teeth.
The Tripoli carries more precision-guided munitions than any other ship in its class.
The Malacca Strait is the ultimate test of seamanship. 44,000 tons of warship threading the needle between 1,000 civilian vessels. She is never out of touch. Through these domes, the Tripoli is connected to the global information grid. The high-tech F-35s handle the big threats. The Marines on the rails handle the asymmetric ones, the suicide boats and the low-flying drones.
You can't fight a war on an empty stomach. The Tripoli's galley is the heart of the ship, keeping the crew energized for the long watches ahead.
The Tripoli creates 200,000 gallons of fresh water a day from the sea. It's the lifeblood of the ship.
She's a living thing. The steel is designed to flex. In a Force 8 gale, the Tripoli can bend up to 3 feet without a single weld cracking.
The Tripoli is a digital target. Her cyber defenders are in a constant state of war, blocking thousands of probes from state-sponsored hackers every single day.
She is built to stay, to watch, to wait, and to be there the moment the world needs a response that...
The Tripoli is on station. The Mistake is now the most important ship in the world, and for the first time in years, the U.S. has the initiative.
To reach Hormuz, you must first survive the Malacca. It's a 500-mile navigation nightmare, where a wrong turn costs millions.
Millimeter perfect steering. In these waters, the Tripoli isn't a hammer. She's a needle being threaded through a moving haystack of global trade.
The name carries weight. From the shores of North Africa to the modern Gulf, Tripoli has always been the Navy's answer to an impossible question.
If a missile leaks through the outer screen, the ram system takes over. 21 missiles, Mach 2. It doesn't miss.
Guam was the pit stop. 400 tons of ordnance and enough jet fuel to fly for a month straight were loaded in less than 24 hours.
Efficiency is its own weapon. A faster deck cycle means more bombs on target and fewer windows for the enemy to breathe.
To a Kilo-class submarine, the Tripoli sounds like a merchant ship until it's too late. Her engines are baffles, her hull is a whisper.
Capability 4, the command node. The Tripoli is a 5-star hotel for the brain of the fleet, linking satellites and ground troops into one fist.
Drones are the new reality. The Tripoli's automated Sea Whiz creates a 1.5-mile kill zone that no commercial drone can penetrate.
The steel is impressive, but the grit is human. These sailors haven't seen land in 45 days, yet their readiness remains at 100%.
It's built for the blue water. The Tripoli's hull is designed to pierce the waves, not ride them, keeping the flight deck stable for the F-35s.
She isn't an island. Through joint refueling, the Tripoli's air wing can strike targets deep in the Iranian interior and return safely to the sea.
The Tripoli was a radical departure. LHA-8 will bring back the well deck, but the lessons learned here about aviation-centric warfare are permanent.
When the Tripoli goes silent, it vanishes from the electronic world. In the Indian Ocean, she is a 44,000...
While the F-35s mask the noise, the ground teams move in silence. The Tripoli provides the cover, the LPDs provide the door.
In the heat of the Gulf, water is as valuable as fuel. The Tripoli's life support systems are the only thing standing between the mission and disaster.
The Tripoli's deck is reinforced with a special thermoplastic coating. Without it, the F-35B's vertical thrust would burn a hole right through the ship.
The kill chain is shorter than ever. On the Tripoli, we see the threat, we confirm the threat, and we neutralize it before the enemy can turn their engine on.
She was built to move. She was built to fight. And right now, she's exactly where she needs to be to keep the world's oil flowing.
The USS Tripoli is on station. The Lightning carrier is ready. And the message to our adversaries is clear. We are watching.
The name Tripoli comes from the first time the Marines took a foreign fortress. It's a name born from the fight against those who blocked the sea.
History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. 1805 or 2026, the mission remains the same. Keep the gates of trade open at any cost.
When they sing to the shores of Tripoli, they aren't just singing about the past. They are singing about the deck they are standing on right now.
The name has always been a fighter. From the earliest days of our Navy, Tripoli has meant a ship that punches above its weight.
In the 60s, she was a helicopter carrier. She proved that you could land an army from the sky. Today's Tripoli just perfected the idea.
She belongs to a family of giants. Iwo Jima, Bataan, Mackinac Island. Each name is a chapter in the history of the Marine Corps.
She is a modern marvel, but her soul is made of oak and iron.
A ship's name is a mission statement. And for this Tripoli, the mission is simple. Be ready when the world calls.
The rush is over. The position is held. The USS Tripoli has arrived, and the Strait of Hormuz has a new guardian.
They called her a mistake. Now they call her indispensable. That is the story of the USS Tripoli.